I, Godric, have lived a life of both great shame and quiet devotion. Few know the truth behind my profession, few dare to speak it aloud. I am an executioner, tasked with ending the lives of those deemed guilty by the law. As a young man, I was apprenticed to the old master executioner, Grimbold. He taught me the ways of the axe, the sword, and the noose. I learned the art of killing with precision and mercy, a seeming contradiction, perhaps, but one that has guided my hand these many years. In those early days, I was naive to the weight of responsibility that rested upon my shoulders. The condemned would beg for mercy, their eyes wide with fear as they pleaded for a reprieve. And yet, time and again, I had to steel myself against their tears, their promises to reform, and their futile attempts at bargaining. As I grew in experience and skill, so too did the complexity of my emotions. Guilt and shame would creep into my dreams, haunting me with visions of the innocent souls I had sent to the great beyond. And yet, duty-bound, I could not shirk from my task. I recall one particular instance that still weighs heavily upon my conscience. A young woman, barely more than a girl, was condemned for heresy. Her crime: speaking out against the unjust treatment of women in our Lord's court. Her words had sparked a fire within me, a fire of indignation and outrage. I, who had always believed myself to be above such petty squabbles, found myself questioning the very fabric of our society. As I prepared to execute her, I felt my hand falter. The axe, once an extension of my arm, now felt like a foreign object in my grasp. I thought of all the words she had spoken, words that had resonated deep within me. And so, with a heavy heart, I begged our Lord for mercy. He granted it, commuting her sentence to life imprisonment. In the years that followed, I struggled to reconcile my profession with my newfound sense of morality. I began to question whether it was truly just to take the lives of those who had been deemed guilty by the law. And so, I started to make a conscious effort to choose my targets wisely, to focus on those who had committed heinous crimes, rather than simply following the dictates of the law. As the years turned into decades, I earned a reputation as one of the most skilled and merciful executioners in all the land. Men and women alike would whisper stories of my prowess, how I could take a life with precision and dispatch, yet still show compassion to those who were about to meet their Maker. And yet, despite this newfound respectability, I remained haunted by the ghosts of my past. The faces of the condemned would visit me in my dreams, their eyes pleading for mercy as they took their final breaths. I would wake with a start, my heart heavy with the weight of my responsibilities. It was during one such night that I received an unexpected visitor, a young monk named Brother Edwin, who had heard whispers of my unusual approach to my craft. He sought me out, hoping to learn from one who had walked the fine line between duty and compassion. And so we spoke long into the night, sharing stories and philosophies as the moon rose high in the sky. In that moment, I realized that my profession was not just a means of enforcing the law, but also an opportunity to show mercy and compassion, even in the darkest of times. And so, with Brother Edwin's guidance, I rededicated myself to my work, seeking to balance justice with empathy and understanding. As the years passed, I continued to execute those who were deemed guilty by the law, but I did so with a newfound sense of purpose and conviction, knowing that, in doing so, I was also serving as a reminder that even in death, there is always room for redemption and forgiveness. I am Godric, executioner extraordinaire, and though my profession may seem dark and foreboding to some, I know that it holds within it the power to bring light and hope to those who need it most, and to myself as well.